I've actually been waiting for quite some time to do a review of a Howard Ford movie on this channel, and wouldn't you know it, I was sat watching a Howard Ford movie and didn't even know it was one. Today, we are going to be reviewing The Ledge. Hello everybody and welcome back to Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British website for all the news, reviews and exclusive interviews. We like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget, with a special keen eye on the lower end of the scale, and that's what this is. Howard J. Ford. I reviewed one of his movies a little while back, Never Let Go, with Angela Dixon. Angela was in a Tom Payton movie, she was in Black Sight, so that kind of hit my radar. Everybody knows I love Tom Payton. That's just one of those things that is never going to change. She was in Black Sight, and then she did this movie Never Let Go, which was a nice sort of Taken-esque movie with a female lead in a foreign land whose daughter is kidnapped and she has to go and save them. Becomes a bit of a badass bitch and really gets in some shit. Then there was The Adventure Boys, which was an awesome little family tale that I really liked about two kids who just live the best life, and I really enjoyed Adventure Boys. I didn't review it on the website or anything like that, but it was a good film. I got a kick out of that movie. So there I am, watching The Ledge, and the end credits come up, and it's a Howard J. Ford movie. Who would have knew? First of all, though, please do all those wonderful, amazing things that help us grow, help this channel, and make me basically want to get back in this chair and talk about new stuff. And of course, the Batman movie is on its way, so we will be talking about that at some point. Massive Batman fan, got him tatted all over my back, so I will be talking about that movie. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to talk about it. Little bit of a sidebar there, but please do like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell. The notification bell will let you know whenever I drop an episode. You won't have to go looking through all of your subscribed channels. It will just pop up as a little one in your thing, and you will know that I have a new episode. Let's not waste any more time. Let's not stand on ceremony, and let's get into my review of The Ledge.
Yeah, come on, let's do this.
Well, this weekend just got a whole lot more interesting.
So, here we are. Wait, let me guess. Frat boys, right?
We met at summer camp and started climbing.
The locals, they just tried to climb the face but couldn't get past the ledge.
These are some pretty big rocks.
Well, if you need any help up there.
We can take care of ourselves.
I'm gonna hit the sack.
Yo, maybe she's had enough.
Maybe you should shut your mouth.
You scared me. Hey, slow down, cowboy.
Get off me!
Help me.
We are not going down for this.
You mean just leave her like this?
No.
Jesus Christ, no!
The camera. Get her. She's going for the face! Get her down! I'm coming for you, bitch!
He's not gonna let her off this mountain alive. He's a psycho, man.
You're either with us or you're against us.
He's gonna kill me. And then he's gonna kill you.
And by now I think you are all well aware of how I like to do this. We are going to talk about the plot. We are going to talk about the cast and the characters. We will talk about what I did and what I did not like. Then we will move into my final Nerdly rating, which is just my rating and not the rating of nerdly.co.uk as a whole. Kicking off with the plot, we basically have two girls, Sophie and Kelly, who are on this sort of hiking expedition. It's the 1 year anniversary of Kelly's fiance or husband or stuff and things, I don't really know. We get flashbacks for it. So it's like the 1 year anniversary, so they're going to go and conquer this hill, this ledge, and they're going to get past it, and they're going to do it the hard way, not the scenic route, the hard way. The night before they're about to do this, 4 guys turn up and basically invite themselves into their little world, have a few drinks, smoke some weed, and then stuff and things happen. One of them goes back to the cabin. One of the guys is like, I'm going to sleep with Sophie, but he's a little bit creepy and rapey, so that doesn't go too well. And then basically he accidentally kills her, and then Kelly kind of witnesses them disposing of the body, and now she is in a fight for her lives. But unlike any normal person who would just get their shit and go, she decides she's going to climb the mountain. Yeah. Didn't really understand why you did that, Kelly. Surely it would have just been easier to keep running through the woods than climb the mountain. Yeah. So that's what she does. She starts climbing the mountain, and the guys chase her, and they climb the mountain too. But you know what? I'm being like that, and I'm saying it like that, as if I'm being sarcastic. But it's actually not a bad plot for the movie. We've all seen Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger worked. I mean, totally different kettle of fish to The Ledge, but that kind of movie does work, and it can work. And this movie does work at times. Tom Boyle's script is a little bit ropey, but it can work. We have what I suspect is a finite budget, but we're going to use everything we can. And let it be said that Howard Ford knows how to stretch a budget. That Never Let Go movie didn't have a lot behind it, but he did a good job. The Adventure Boys didn't have a lot behind it, but he did a good job. He knows how to make a good-looking movie, which is kind of half the battle, because if I was to pick up a movie off the shelf, I'll put it on, and if it doesn't hold up visually, I'm probably going to turn it off. This movie does hold up visually. His movies do hold up visually. So, kind of half the battle won, and we can get into it. So let's talk about the cast and character. And I'm going to start with our two girls, because we have Sophie and Kelly. Kelly played by Brittany Ashworth, and Sophie played by, and I apologize before I do this, I'm going to butcher your first name, Anais Perello. Let me know if I got that right. I don't think I did, though. I think both these girls are cracking. I mean, Sophie's not in it for a great deal of time because, of course, she is the girl who dies. So we only get a short time with her, but I really quite liked the chemistry between these two at the start of the film. I felt like these were two women who probably would hang out, and you got one who's going to end up being a little bit of a party girl. You got the other one who just wants to climb the mountain in honor of her dead husband or fiance. I feel like it's a pretty solid grounds for a relationship right there, for a friendship right there. And then you've got the four lads who come into the movie, and this is going to split the audience quite a bit. And when you really want to dissect the movie and take things apart and get into the nitty-gritty of it, this is kind of where the movie does fall apart. And it's got nothing to do with the performances, because I think they're all doing a pretty good job. It's more what they have to work with. The material is a little bit hokey at times, but at the same time, it kind of feels like the movie's leaning into that, which is kind of a good thing. So I don't know what I'm trying to say there. Like, I feel like I'm trying to nitpick on something, but then it's not really a nitpick, because if you do cheese right, cheese works. But it's just some of the dialogue, man, and we'll talk about that in a second. You have got Joshua played by Ben Lamb, Nathan Welch plays Reynolds, Louis Boyer plays Nathan, and David Wayman plays Taylor. David Wayman is a name that I know, it's a name that I've seen, and to be honest, so is Ben Lamb, but I think he was in like one of those Christmas Prince movies that was on Netflix. Pretty sure I recognized him from that. I might be wrong, like, I really do apologize if I've offended you on that one, Mr. Ben Lamb, but I think it was you, so I'm going to go out on a limb with that one. But David Wayman, we know him. This kid's been in a lot of independent movies on the British scene, so David Wayman is a familiar face, to me at least. These guys, I don't know, like, did you ever see that movie Very Bad Things with Christian Slater? It's kind of like that sort of friendship. They are just toxic. They are really, really toxic around each other. You've got two of them who are sort of like friends away from the group, and they're sort of going to be together sort of thing, as in, like, they won't turn their backs on each other, only they probably would given half a chance. You got David Wayman, who's sort of like the bitch of the bunch, just gets picked on a little bit. And then, of course, you've got Ben Lamb playing Joshua, who's giving his best Patrick Bateman impression. Like, he kind of is going for Christian Bale in American Psycho in this movie. And there are times that I love it. There are other times that I don't so much love it. And again, that comes down to the material. I do think that all of them are doing a decent job. I do think that they're working in a certain way that they can. It just felt like at times these guys would never be friends. You get certain aspects of what is going on previously in their lives. These guys would never be friends. Best friends when they've been through certain things, stick together and whatnot. I know that's a thing. Like, I have friends like that. Not many, but I have friends like that. But there's just things that will split up a friendship, will break up a friendship group. And these guys seem to have been through all of them. So for me, I was just kind of like, guys, why are you kicking about together? But Ben Lamb somehow manages to sort of ringlead this group and be Patrick Bateman. I'm going to talk about the things that I did and didn't like about The Ledge. And one of the things that I actually really do like, although it's silly and although it's cockamamie and it's total shenanigans, I do actually like the concept. I like the concept of she is quite a strong-willed woman. She is quite a powerful woman. Maybe that's why she thinks to herself, you know what, I'm not going to take the easy way out of this. I'm going to climb that hill, and that's how I'm going to get away. So the concept isn't terrible. It's not terrible at all. It is actually quite riveting. And I guess it's a movie. You've got to have things happen. You've got to have a plot there. What would be the point if she just got in the car and drove off? That would just be silly. So I get that it is a plot device, and it does actually kind of work. I do kind of actually like that. There's tension building, and then you get to a certain point in the movie where she hits like a peak, and they are above her at this point because they took the easy way and they like took the scenic road, so they actually get ahead of her and they're above her, and she ends up on the titular ledge, which I guess I should have seen coming because the movie's called The Ledge. But then we spend the rest of the movie here. We spend a good chunk of the movie here, and it just feels like it brings a screeching halt to everything that's been going on. You've been fast-paced building tension and getting us to this point, and then you stop. The other thing that I'm not massively keen on, although I do get it as it serves characters' backstory, is the flashbacks. I didn't really relate to the flashbacks whatsoever. Like, I get it. You could have had that flashback at the start where we see her husband or we see her fiance, and you could have melded a lot of the other flashbacks throughout the movie into that one flashback and gave us a quick snapshot of the life that she'd lost a year ago. But instead, we have certain moments, and it's supposed to be one of these things where she's training with him to rock climb, which, fair enough, I get it. And she comes across a moment in the movie where it's like, oh, remember that thing that he taught you about rock climbing and how to do that thing and using your power with that thing and doing that thing? That would be really, really handy right now. Was it terrible? Did it completely rip me from the movie? Hell no, it didn't do any of that. It's a nitpick, but I've got to come up with something. This isn't something that I completely hate because I know a lot of movies do this. Shit, even Cliffhanger did it. But the background and the sort of CGI background of the mountains and stuff like that, it is super ropey at times. You can tell. But you know what? I am well aware that this is a lower budget movie. It doesn't have $1 million behind it. I'm well aware of that. So when it comes to things like that, I'm a lot more easygoing with it. I know people who would have watched that and be like, ah, man, I'm out. And that's not fair. That's really not fair, and that's not what we do here at Nerdly Out Loud. It's not what we do on nerdly.co.uk. Pimpin', always pimp. I'm not going to sit and take it apart for that. So you know what? I'm going to dive into my final rating for The Ledge, which is a great name for a movie to say. Howard Ford, I have been dying to do a movie of his on this channel because he does come out with the goods. He always tends to surprise me. Like, I know there's not a massive great deal of money behind these movies, but he makes a movie that is super watchable, super passable, and very, very serviceable. He knows how to hit certain marks that are going to entertain you. He knows how to somewhat subvert the expectation a little bit. I mean, he took Taken and he made it a woman. You got Angela Dixon running around. She's pretty damn badass. So I do rate him. I rate him as a director. I absolutely do. So when I came to the end of The Ledge and I realized, shit, this is a Howard Ford movie, Of course it's a Howard Ford movie. When you look back at it, like, I absolutely understand that it's a Howard Ford movie. I was quite pleased. I was very, very pleased. And I'm pleasantly pleased with this film. So much so, I'm going to drop a 4 out of 5. It could have easily went up to a 5 if some of the dialogue had just turned it down a notch, and it was just a bit too much at times. You know, like Spinal Tap, he turns it up to 11. Sometimes 10's okay. Sometimes 10 is okay. But I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 because I did genuinely like the concept. It's silly, it's mad, but it's exactly what I needed. It's exactly what I wanted to see. And at the end of the day, that's how Wrong Turn started. And look how that franchise went. But yes, The Ledge, Howard Ford, 4 out of 5. I actually rate this movie. I definitely think you should check it out. It's a really easy watch, nice and suspenseful at times. Yes, it comes to a screeching halt at one point, but then it starts picking up again as we go on. Ben Lamb, I genuinely thought he was really good in this film. Like, even though he does go a little bit over the top, I did think he was good. Brittany Ashworth, excellent. Like, you gotta love a strong leading female performance, and she does that in spades. And again, this is another case of Howard Ford just knowing how to cast his leading female. And that's exactly what he's done here. Like, he's done a great job casting Brittany. So yeah, I'm gonna go 4 out of 5. That was The Ledge, Howard Ford movie, in the bag on the channel. Thank you very much. Please do all those wonderful things and hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. If you see the movie The Ledge, if you have seen it, if you're gonna see it, if you want to see it, slap something in the comments for me. Let me know what you thought about the movie. Just let me know, and we'll continue the conversation, because I think there's more to say about this movie that I've not really dove into. There's a lot this movie's actually trying to say. I did rate this movie. I want you to watch this movie, and I'm gonna go. So